kind of hard doing the right thing. You gotta pray to do the right thing. And we just trying to stay in the right lane. Hey, staying in the right lane. Sometimes it's hard to do the right thing.
Hey,
Stay in the right lane. And we just trying to do the right thing. In the light lane. Right lane. Hey. And we just trying to do the right thing. Trying to do the right thing. Hey. And we just trying to do the right things. Sometimes it's hard staying in the right lane. You gotta pray almost every day. No, you gotta pray every day. Hey, to stay in the light rain.
hey,
Hey,
I say, my collective is selective, and we don't play that. The
hey,
collective is selective, and we don't play that. Intuition is sharp, and I'ma say that.
hey. And we just trying to do the right thing.
Guard your energy.
Hey. Protect your energy. And don't you worry about no enemies. Protect your energy. Hey. Protect your energy. And don't you worry about the enemies.
Hey,
Hey.
my collective is selective,
Hey.
and we don't play that.
Hey.
Intuition is sharp, and I'ma say that.
Hey. Hey. Go. Hey. Hey. Transmute, manifest. Hey. Hold up. Deep breath. And we just clearing out this energy. I'm pouring back into me. Hey. Ain't got time for the enemies. Hey. I'm going where I'm supposed to be. Hey. And God is taking care of me. Hey. Transmute, manifest. Hey. Deep breath. Hey. Tap into this energy. Hey. The energy. Hey. Tap into this energy. Hey.
Something old and got enemy.
Hey. I'm really
Flow money
feeling
like
this
a Kennedy.
energy. You heard me.
Something old ain't got enemy.
Hey. Okay.
Flow money like a Kennedy.
Okay. Hey. Go. Hey. Hey. I'm really feeling this energy. What's gotten into me? I'm really feeling this energy. It's the energy. Yeah. Hey. Happy Monday. It's Monday. We back at it again. Hey. And happy Monday. It's Monday. We back at it again. Hey. Hey. Go. Go.
Hey, y'all.
Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well in positive energy, attracting the life you desire, because it's your birthright. Of course, we're coming through with another live. Make sure you take it how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and don't forget, if you love the video, share the video out, run the video up, okay? Let's get this message out. I hope you guys are enjoying this good energy, okay?
Yes, yes. Y'all know I'm an old man, so I couldn't even see.
Open your hand.
So,
You busted.
I had to switch my glasses and grab me some treats from the tricker. How y'all doing? Where y'all from? Drop it in the box.
Where you guys at? Where you guys from?
Hmm.
Hey, what's up? Wolf? What's up, Wolf? Welcome to the tribe. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What's up?
Okay. All right, get my little Tootsie Roll on.
Butterfly, that's old. Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll, you go too fast. Let me. Oh.
I am Soulja Boy.
Now, you know that's way older than Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was probably a
Didn't
baby.
he say something about some Tootsie Rolls, though?
Maybe. No. Superman, now watch me, you.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it said Tootsie Roll.
Is that Bella right there? I think it might be.
Can't see. Hey, y'all.
Hello, everyone. Beams, what it do?
Hey, Beams. We got Florida in the building. Hey, Beams. Beams is like Tinkerbell.
Beams be in
Beams
and out.
like a little energy that comes in and it be sprinkling a little fairy dust, and then you be like, shh, where's Beams?
Beams say a little bit on here and say a lot. Beams don't ever say too much, just a little bit.
Okay,
But we appreciate your presence, Beams.
absolutely.
You send us a picture of you. We wonder how you look. We be like, I wonder what Beams look like. Who's Beams?
You know how you try, to put faces to people? Oh my goodness. Y'all got me laughing.
All right, so I got 2 downloads. Good stuff. And the first one is this. It's about impartation, right? Imparting is when you taking the power that God has invested in you and you giving it to another person for growth and development, right? It should be, but it's not always the case. So I guess Spirit has me speaking about impartation because I just want to describe the energy a little bit so that we can know what we're doing. We can be a little bit more conscious about what we imparting and what happens when you do impart things. All right, I'm going to use the Bible as a reference. So if you have a problem with that, the left door is over there. One particular instance where impartation happened was Paul, he was talking to Timothy, and Timothy was having some doubts about himself. And Paul was like, basically, Timothy, I know you can do it because I know the gift is in you because I laid my hands on you and I imparted it into you. So I know it's there, right? And then you had one of the more famous stories of impartation when the woman with the issue of blood, remember she touched Christ's hem and the virtue went out of him? That's impartation. So what happens during impartation, right? One of the most powerful forms of impartation is when you touch people. Now, during impartation, something goes out and something comes in. And this is why it's crucial for development, but it's also good to guard yourself against impartation. Like, when you're dealing with physical contact with people and depending upon how you touch them, you open yourself up for impartation, for things that go out of you and come into you at the same time. Now, the strength in impartation is when you're a person that develop spiritual strength and you can really, you can believe that you have spiritual strength. You work, you earn it, you get it. When you touch people, you're a little more guarded when you like that. Like, people who have purpose, people who God protects them in a certain way because you have to be strong enough to defend against what like if somebody, for instance, say they had something on them and they go to hug you, right? But you're not stable or secure in your spirit. What happens during that hug, if you open yourself up, whatever's on them, it can impart into you. That's why a lot of wise spiritual people, they don't like to touch people.
Yeah.
It's because some people don't have that level of faith. They know their place. They be like, God ain't put me here to be touching everybody, so I'm not powerful enough to defend against it. Then you have people like ministers and other people who it's their calling to, because they are imparting a power that's beyond them. So impartation is just good to be aware of what it is and what goes on. Even when you all right, so I'm gonna touch on this on a positive note. Say you're a healer and God put it in you and you know that you heal people. So thenceforth, a true healer knows that you have to be prepared to get sick if you're a healer. Because often, healing energy, people who walk around as healers, they are people who take energy as energy. So if somebody has a sickness, in order for a healer to move it, the healer gotta embody the sickness, transmute the sickness out of them. That's what a true healer does. So when you in a position and you a healer and you imparting yourself to people and you doing it in a way, make sure you give yourself time to recuperate. Because healing is not laying your hands on a bunch of people and get that. That could do more damage. All right. Sound like a coyote panting in the back. I think it's a bird though. But and the next download is this. For somebody, and this should resonate. You've been given financial liberty. So create good karma with it. Like, this is beyond me because I don't have this type of liberty that I'm looking into, right? I'm literally looking into somebody else's story. God has given you financial liberty, right? Create good karma with it, right? And it draws me back to an old proverb that one of my old heads used to tell me about what money does when you send it out the wrong way. When you get money and you have financial liberty, depending upon what you begin to do with the money and the liberty you have, you can create a string of things that come and attack you after the money is gone, right? One of my old heads gave me that proverb, like watch how your money walk away, because you do things with the money when you have the liberty, and those same things that you do, if they karmic, what they do, they don't come right back when the money is there. they come back and attack you. And what you literally be confronted with is you confronted with the things that you did with the money when you had the liberty. So when you have financial liberty for somebody, whoever it is, create good karma with it. My wife was showing me something by one of her childhood friends where I think they adopted a government worker or somebody, you know, with the government being in shutdown. That's a perfect way to create good karma with money. When you do, because when you have financial liberty, it's not, the liberty is not given definitely to go blow it on material. If you still want to blow money on material things, I can just say it's probably you got some lessons to learn. But we talking about liberty. When you have financial liberty, God says create good karma with it. Somebody, you got it or you headed towards it, right? But the type of liberty that this is, the thing about financial liberty is nobody there to tell you what to do. There's nobody there to hold your hand. In fact, Spirit says it's mostly a bunch of yes men in your circumference. When you got financial liberty, it's very hard to be obedient. It's very hard to create. It seems like it's good to create. It's easy to create good karma when you have financial liberty. When in fact it's not. Look at it. Look at what people do when they have financial liberty. They create karmic debt. Real talk, people create karmic debt. So don't be that way. Whoever you are. All right, let's move on. 2 downloads. That was it.
Good stuff.
Let's see how we feeling this morning.
It's good energy over here. You know, the sun is beaming right on my face, and this is the energy that I love. Like, this is my favorite kind of energy. And we got the sun that came out this morning.
No doubt.
Okay, the sun card, Leo energy. Okay, number 19 could be significant here. We also got judgment, number 20, Libra energy. Okay, I feel like this is very good. I don't know if someone is getting married. Congratulations to you. You could have just gotten engaged or something like that. I'm seeing some kind of ceremony, some kind of covenant, some kind of union, something joining together. Okay, and I know this to be true because we also have marriage here. Okay, this could be something, if it hasn't happened to you already, this could be coming towards you. This energy is here: abundance, accountability, union. The marriage of two souls is a union of two divine opposite opponents, meaning that, you know, opposites attract. So there could be someone in the energy, you could be learning that opposites really do attract in some kind of ways. Maybe you are alike in some ways, and then you guys have some differences that could be attracting you guys to each other, which means it takes work. We got number 25 coming out here with emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude and innocence of wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds in this place. Yeah, I feel like there's something beautiful here with the sun card. I see celebrations. I see, you know, brighter days. I see truth, you know. When the sun is out, you're able to see the truth. I feel like, you know, I don't know if someone's like, you know, just holding themselves more accountable in a relationship. You know, this could be just with you and the divine. It could be you and your partner, you and your children. Whatever it is, I just see, you know, people wanting to be accountable. I see people wanting to be more truthful and honest. People wanting to value, you know, their relationships and loyalty. You know, this is very good energy here. You could be tied into people who have like energy, you know, good people. You know, you could be an example that there are still good people out here. Maybe it's just you. You know, maybe you are a representation of the sun and judgment. You know, a person that's holding themselves accountable, and the blessings are able to pour in. You know, when you're able to stand up and like, you know, I'm wrong in these places, I'm flawed in these areas, I have all these different things that I need to work on, and you know, you look at self and not really outside of self, you know, it's easier to work with you. Divinity can work with you a little bit more, and I feel like that's what's happening here. I feel like, I don't know, there could also be two souls. You know, I'm feeling like it's two people, but you're showing up as one energy here. Okay, so you could definitely be in some kind of divine partnership that's leading to a marriage if you're not already married. If you are married, I feel like, you know, you have a beautiful covenant that God has put a blessing on. And maybe it's just a time for you to remember that, you know, you guys are in a covenant. It's blessed, you know, because that's what I'm saying here for this particular marriage. You could be, you could play an instrument. You could be in a band or something like that. Something about music is very significant. There could be something about a specific song that you want to get married to or something like that. Something about a reminder here, okay? There could be someone needing to pay attention to the call, okay? I feel like, you know, someone's being called towards something, but you could be maybe not hearing something here. There's a lot of good energy here. I feel like someone, you know, feels at peace. You know, when you feel at peace, it's almost like your childlike energy. You know, children don't have to worry about certain things. So someone's at peace here. I feel like, you know, peace. I feel like a burden has been lifted off of someone's shoulder, or it will be. Something about this, okay? Maybe you met somebody that is helping you, okay? You know, there are good people out here.
So this is a little somber in a way, like, but I feel like I can speak life. I can speak life with this though, right? You got the Five of Swords to the Five of Cups to the Ten of Torches. I'm gonna read the footnote on the clarification cards, like, observation. You're being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation or a person's motive. You need to hear what is really being said, despite the words and emotions coming from the messenger. I feel like it's confusing for you, whoever you are. You could be dealing with you could be being deceived, right? I'm gonna just say it how it's coming. I feel like it's a matter of deception, and I feel like this is why observation is out here. And you could be confused in your perception about something, right? And I feel Spirit is wanting you to look at what is really being said. Like, for instance, if, just say somebody asks me to go out, right? Like, come on, I need you to go out with me, right? I need you to go out. Are they asking me to go out because they want me to have a good time, or do they want me to be in support of what they doing? Am I linking up with this person because this person wants me to do something that they want me to do? Am I being spent into somebody else's narrative or motive? Because in the end, you will feel regret if that's the case. If you honestly feel like your energy is being pulled in a deceptive way, it's on you to make a decision. Because everybody people who invite you to things, sometimes it's just a matter of your energy, right? Like, even when it's down to devious things and karmic things, sometimes people they'll look at you and they'll say, well, I need that person with me in order for me to be able to do this. In order for my energy to move in this wrong way, I need this right person to be with me.
And a lot of times, you know, the collective is all, you notice you're the life of the party, because life is of the spirit, you know, so you have a lot in your spirit. So that's why everyone always is attracted to you. They always want you around because your energy is magnetic.
Yeah, I really feel like that, right? And with the Five of Cups being clarified by forgiveness, these footnotes important. If you're feeling angry about a past issue, the elephant is asking you to discover more vulnerable feelings behind that anger. You're being asked to forgive and be gentle with others. Confusion and regret. Do you keep ending up in the same situation over and over again? And if so, are you unforgiving of it? Because the truth be told, sometimes you can be connected to people in such a way where You know you compromising yourself being with him, but yet and still you find yourself with him, and it seems like no good really comes out of it on a soulish level. Like, how are you feeling after this? Not, I mean, because you could go somewhere with somebody and walk away with plenty of money. But you know, when you wrong on a soulish level, you ever got a lot of bread and been wrong in your soul? I have, because you be looking at the bread like, I know this about to cost me. I know that this wasn't even worth it. I know it wasn't worth it because it's about to cost me, right? And somebody you have to be forgiving, no matter what situation you find yourself in, because I feel like this is about self with this Five of Cups. This is regret, right? Somebody you could be in regret for being in a situation that you keep ending up in time and time again, right? Ten of Torches to the loyalty. You may be feeling like those around you let you down or are not doing their fair share of work. This comes as a reminder that loyalty exists and you must not settle for anything less. You deserve better than mixed signals. You carrying a burden, somebody. And your burden has a lot to do with what you allow yourself to be invited to do. Because I feel like somebody in this energy, if you really pay attention to yourself, I feel you. You do better when you alone. When you alone and you thinking and your mind is, when you alone and you able to think and you able to really process, you better at that place. But I also see you clouding your mind with a lot of regret. Ten of Torches. I'm gonna step up out of it. Observation, right? If this resonates, just observe and make changes. Like,
Right now, we got two different things going on. And that's cool. It's all good, you know, because we got several people here. So I'm getting a whole different energy over here.
Thank God.
Okay? I got an Emperor, okay? Aries energy. You know, this is a person who is of authority on a earthly level.
Ranked up.
Okay? You know, I don't know. You could be, you know, a Babalawo. I don't know, a minister. You could be a priestess. I don't know, something like that. But we got the Ten of Pentacles here as well. There's a man here, okay? And there's a man that's doing his thing. You know, he is representing what he should represent. And I feel like if he does not have if he doesn't have everything he needs right now, it's coming in. And this is for a man, okay? Or a masculine energy. This is for a person that has been willing to get up, even though you could be, let me give you an example. I'm gonna break it down to the earthly level. You could be a supervisor at work, right? And maybe you are an active supervisor where you get out there and you help the employees, and you know, when you guys are short, you don't just watch them on the camera. You get out and you do things, right? This is bringing in abundance for you, because someone who is not taking who is not abusing their position, who is actually you know, taking their position seriously, they're willing to help other people while they're in a position of authority. It says your spirit is about to be sublaminated. Okay, that's what it says here. So there's someone, and you know, you could be in a position where, you know, you have more ranking than other people. You could be in the military or something like that. Okay, you could be a captain or something like that. Okay, military, Navy, I'm getting this kind of energy. You could even work in a prison system and be like a white coat or something like that. But what I'm saying is, there's a person that's willing to get out into the field even though they are the boss. Okay, this could be an entrepreneur, you know, maybe you're out there getting to it. Whatever it is, it brings in abundance for not you only, but your family. Okay, this is, somebody's creating a legacy. Somebody's building something that is going to be it's going to give you longevity, and I feel like you're creating traditions for your family, something like that. You could be the first one that did something major in your family or something like that. You could be the first one that touched a certain amount of money in your family. Okay? Now, I feel like that whoever you are, you come from obviously some kind of royal bloodline. Okay? And maybe you could have been like a misfit, the black sheep. Maybe people could have been looking at you like you were screwing up the family's name or something like that, but not now, okay? Somebody had to put some respect on your name or something like that. Your work is proven. You know, you're willing to get off the seat, the throne, and get into the mud with people, your people, okay? Something like that's honorable. Someone's very honorable. As above, so below. You know, maybe your superiors are not paying that attention, but the Most High is.
I was
The
hearing
thing,
something about the ethers.
yeah, because the things we do in the dark, the things that we don't get credit for here on earth, God still sees those things. And someone is receiving abundance for those things that they've been doing in the background. You know, those prayers that they've been praying for people that don't like them. You know, those times when, you know, you're crying out for the entire world, for every culture, every community, every ethnicity, ethnic background, right? Something like that. You know, I'm seeing a person, and this could be a man, like, you know, I see a man that has a key. You have the key, okay? There could be a man, you could literally be about to turn keys to a new home, a new vehicle, okay? A new
Somebody
part of your own self.
real ranked in the ethers.
Okay, something about it.
Powerful prayers. This is masculine energy over here too, right? It could be telling an ongoing story in a way. I don't know, but this way this picks up at. You got the Two of Swords upright to the cycle. I like that. Because Two of Swords upright in a cycle, first of all, it's showing a decision that has to be made. Two of Swords in a cycle, that's a decision that has to be made. But with the Princess of Pentacles in reverse to the calm, I really feel like somebody, you made a right decision, and your decision was to stop being productive or to stop working. And I feel like not work, when I say stop working, I mean, you start working for I don't want to put this like you start working for the devil, because it's not that cut and dry. Somebody, you literally stop working on your own destruction. Put it that way, because you found a calmness with this Prince of Pentacles in reverse. That's a hope. It's a hold up. And with the Hangman in reverse to the luck, I feel like it's really bringing you in what you can't see. Like making a decision to stop moving in a destructive way. The Princess of Pentacles in reverse to the calm. Hangman in reverse to the luck. It's almost like a game-changing situation that somebody made in your life. And it's bringing you in divine, we don't say luck, we say divine timing. So this Hangman in reverse is divine timing. See, it was about time that you made that decision, that whatever you was in a cycle, right? Say kangaroo, just bouncing around in a cycle, right? Doing something continuously. You made a decision to stop working in that way. It shows right here, and that's what brought calmness to you. It brings calmness to your spirit. This one of them things where you ever been in a position where you bringing in money and you know it's illegal, or you know is not really right the way you bringing it in? It adds pressure on you, because if it's illegal, surely you looking over your back. If it's immoral, it deteriorates the soul from within. You know, when you taking money that way, look at that grasshopper. It deteriorates. So somebody, when you make a decision to move a different way, yeah, you lose the money, but you gain calm. You get a calmness that comes over you. Especially, I feel like real big on the morality funds. Like somebody, you was getting money in an immoral way, or you was cool. It's not always that you get money in an immoral way, it's that you cool with the money coming from immorality. You know how that works? Like you could be a divine femme, you might have had a mansion and he might have been getting a lot of money in it, and you was cool with it, so you was guilty of it in your soul. You know how we feel those things, or vice versa. But I feel like you start working, I feel like the Hangman in reverse is a definite decision. It's like definitely unexpected by your spiritual enemies, more or less. Not expected for you to start working on destroying yourself. Once you get in that bag, they expect you to keep doing it. So I feel like your decision to end the cycle is bringing you divine timing, ladybug luck, and this is a powerful deity too. Could be in association with Papa Legba. So I feel like, yeah, you know, if it resonated. Did you stop working on your own demise? If you did, you just don't know you made a powerful decision. And I feel like that's a masculine. Every card on the table was a masculine card. What's that? The hangman comes right back out.
The hangman to the four of swords, to the four of pentacles. Someone needs to like hold tight. Okay? You could be worrying about situations that you literally have no control over. Like no matter how angry you get, no matter how many details you plan to your plan, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work out, because there's something here. And you know, the hangman is also sacrifice. You know, you could be in a period where you're having to sacrifice some things. You're having to hold on to what you have. You're needing to rest. You're needing to slow down. Something like that. There's someone that likes to do a lot, but I feel like right now maybe you can't do a lot. You know, it's a part of the sacrifice. Maybe you don't understand this right now. You could be feeling like you're being counted out, but it's not that you're being counted out. It's that there's a period of rest needed for you, isolation, you know, a period of sitting back and thinking about what's really happening in front of me, because there's a lot of good things here. Remember, we started with the sun card, so it's abundance. But maybe somebody's not realizing something. Somebody could just be wanting to travel. Okay, we got the chariot here. I feel like, you know, this is victory and success. This is when the light and the dark energy, you know, is able to come together, and somebody's able to control themselves emotionally, mentally. There's a lot of major arcana out here. We got 4 of them. Somebody, you know, I feel like somebody's pressing for a thing, but it's just not the time. You know, timing is everything. And, you know, there's divine timing, divine order. Sometimes you want things, but you can't get them right then and there. And that's okay. It does not mean that you'll never get these things. It means that right now is not the right time. Okay? A lot of times when we are being prevented from things, it's actually saving our lives. You know, those things that we wanted so bad, and if we would have got it, you know, it could have really taken us out. Yeah. I don't know if you live in the city. You could be driving through the city right now, or you could have to drive through the city. I'm seeing a lot of city action, tall buildings, bumper to bumper traffic. Could definitely be significant.
I miss the city right now.
Okay. Somebody's holding it together though. Okay. I feel like somebody's holding it together. Somebody could even be holding on, you know, to their finances. Maybe you don't have a whole bunch of finances, but you have more savings than you ever had before. Something like that. Kudos to you. Okay. Somebody could be feeling trapped. We got the 8 of Swords sitting here. Somebody could be feeling like they're trapped in the city. Somebody could be needing to take off their blindfold to be able to see the blessing in whatever it is that their current situation.
My Lord, I was just thinking of that.
Somebody's wanting to be somewhere where they could have really gotten hurt. Somebody doesn't understand that God moved a person so that they wouldn't get hurt, because your life was so important. But there were people that didn't think your life was important, so you had to be moved out of situations so that you could be protected, you know? Some of you guys don't understand that move was the peace you would have never gotten had you not took that move. Something like that. Okay? Somebody could just be needing to be like, you know what, God, I'm sorry. I'm grateful. Thank you for moving me. You know, I'm seeing somebody, I'm seeing your whole life was just moved around like a, you know, a chessboard. You know?
You know,
But it's like king me now.
sometimes financial difficulty is the biggest blessing that the universe can send a person. And I'm gonna tell you on a personal level, I know it to be so. I was just telling my wife not too long ago, being a person that come from outside, of course, I always used to look at people that work like I would never work. Like that's crazy. Like the money that this person make, like it don't even make sense to be a person that worked for that, right? And I was a person that lived like that for a long time, right? And you know, the funny thing about that is I developed some of the most destructive habits when money wasn't the issue. Because, you know, I was a person that one time I was like, man, I can get some money. I ain't the issue. I got other things going on, right? But what I didn't realize was in order for God to preserve me in life, he had to bring me to a place of financial difficulty at a point in my life. Because if he didn't, I would have probably I would have lived in a way I would have finished I would have never looked at, you know, things that were truly wrong with me. Because when you able to make any kind of money in this world accept you any old kind of way you are. And that's the dilemma that the righteous chosen people, you fight against that dilemma, whether you got bread or whether you don't got money. It's the value that people place on the money that we struggle with. That's the dilemma in your heart as a person that's awakening. You starting to realize your value ain't about that shit. Like that's not valuable. And the reason why we really start witnessing it is because you start really seeing, you know how you see a person, they have horrible motives, they have horrible insides. I'm hearing Spirit say it. Some people are deteriorated, they have horrible things wrong with them on the core, but they use money and they go forward. Well, when you begin to awaken, you see them for who they are. Like the world doesn't, because the world will accept you any old kind of way if you show up with $1 in your hand. This is why the world will have you in a way. When you can show up with $1 in your hand, trust me, you can make the mistake of just destroying yourself. Because the world won't warn you. God sends you a warning when he sends you financial difficulty. That's the warning. That's the ability to slow down, learn frugality, right? Man, I remember God taught me a lesson, y'all. I used to say things like, man, I never go in Walmart. What Walmart? I ain't buying nothing out of no Walmart, right? That was my motto in life at one time, right? Then God had to break me down to a place where I began to go to Walmart and be like, oh, slick, oh, I can freak this with that. And then I learned different things, but you know, it was more wholesome for me. And I realized how destructive I was in my way, you know, because I was so destructive and it's personal that my attitude poisoned people, literally. My children at the time, for one, they used to think they gotta have polo or something on, but it was poisoning. So sometimes financial difficulty, it's the blessing, right? And that's not promoting that you be cool with being broke or run out in the woods and just live broke or whatever, like without no real purpose. I'm not saying do none of that, right? But what I'm saying is, when financial difficulty befall you, find a blessing in it. What you do with all the money that you had? That's what God had to ask me one day. I was like, God, why ain't nothing? God was like, remember you had so much, you ain't do nothing with it? Find something else to do with something else. Because at that point, it was like money ain't what you need right now. You need work on yourself. I don't know where that came from, but I do got the Magus out here, the magician, being clarified by letting go, Queen of Cups to the mystery. So you want to know what the magic is in your life? Let me tell you what it is. It's the things that happen beneath the surface when you let go. That's the magic. Yeah, voila. It's like you let go, you withdraw your energy, you pull back your energy. Look, that grasshopper just hopping.
I'm like, you should keep looking
You
at
keep
all
popping
kinds of
around
stuff
when I'm
making.
talking. You want
It's
to
like
get
all
over
kinds
here.
of stuff going on.
So yeah, like I was saying, when you let go of things, the magic happens. And that's you find that out because your magic was letting go. The biggest magic trick you ever pulled was letting go. Nope, you ain't need no candles. You ain't need no manuscripts. You ain't need no spell book.
None of that.
You ain't need none of that. All you had to do was let go. And when you let go, the magic happened. And it be. Sometimes it do get tragic. You know, when you let go of them things that was assigned to destroy you, and they can't feed off you no more, them wells people start withering up, withering away.
Ain't it?
I mean, it's just part of the magic, right? So learn that's a big part of magic, y'all. Because you can't take, thank you, Spirit. I don't care how much magic you want to work against something. If your heart and letting it go is never going to work the way you plan it to work, right? And that's in the area of somebody who is in that situation, right? Jaw spells, all these type of, none of that work. The only thing that work is a fixed heart. That's your best defense.
You heard me.
A fixed heart. It's your best defense. Trust me, it's the greatest magic. Being able to thank you, Spirit. Sometime, like my wife always quote out the Bible, magic spells don't work unless you deserve them. Sometimes loving the wrong thing is you deserving a magic spell, and that grasshopper just hopped up so high right there, right? Sometimes loving the wrong thing is what gets you hit by the wrong type magic and spells and everything else. Because your heart is open to it.
Oh boy, that's the worst kind.
You imparting your love and somebody else imparting a sting right through your love, because your love is an open conduit. When it's opening, when you giving it, you receiving. You know how that goes. Cutting off Queen of Cups to the mystery. So you cut things off, you in your intuition bag right now. You a mystery. Queen of Cups to the mystery. Highly intuitive. People fear this type of intuition because you get to saying things and they be too accurate. Sometimes you don't even gotta say things. When you a Queen of Cups with the mystery around you, you probably got a powerful spirit team, so they probably let people know when you know. People can feel the change in the wind. They be like, oh man, I wonder if they know. That's what they say, I wonder if they know what I did. But then after that wind blow, they be like, oh, they know now. They know now. I know they know now, right? And that's because you got a super intuition. It's supercharged. It's a mystery. Birds croaking away. Yeah, it's a mystery. Your intuition, right? The moon, open-mindedness. Did I say look at this. I didn't even see that. I said your intuition is lit. It says the moon, open-minded. Open-mindedness. Somebody, you got a big head in the spirit, which is a good comment, meaning that you tap into certain type of energies, like, it's certain type of things that's connected to source, right? And sometimes you tap into them, they gift it to you. It's many different peoples from all different books that had these same gifts. That's you. The moon to the open-mindedness is a lot of spiritual secrecy in your energy, right? So what I'm going to advise you to do, right, is stay in moon energy with the open-mindedness, meaning collective don't explain nothing, right? Like I said the other day. Let your secrets be your secrets. Because therein lies the power of your intuition. The less you reveal, the more mystery you hold. The more mystery you hold, the more power you have in the dynamic. Remain mysterious. Be so mysterious, right? Be so mysterious that you be down in your prayer closet, minding your business, and you so mysterious that they think you working magic simply because you withdrew your energy and things falling apart. Be that kind of mysterious. Remain mysterious. Your relationship is with you and God. However it go. The things you can see, God enable you to see them. You ain't tapping into nothing negative. You don't even know why you see the things that you shown. You ain't go try to pay for it. It was given unto you. You ain't go sacrifice nothing. You ain't did nothing. All you did was believe in God, even when things got hard. And the fact that you did that, now you's a mystery. Now you working magic because you let go and things fell apart. Now people's misfortune is because of you.
Hello.
Come on now. Don't.
Something significant about these birds. They going off.
They rocking with me. They know I'm telling the truth out
They
here.
going off.
Telling what the spirit is showing me.
What y'all talking about?
I don't be making that much noise now.
Okay. But it's good. I understand even the energy of the birds because we have the Page of Pentacles here. Okay. I feel like there's something that you're studying that you're very good at. You could be very observant. Okay. I don't know if you're a tarot energy reader. You could definitely be a reader here in the
Tarot,
energy.
reader.
I'm gonna tell you about
your life and where some synergy needed.
Intuitive breathing.
I get to it through breathing. Sahasrara, and I be speaking intriguing. Vishuddha Mani Pura in alignment, boy. I got a holy dance. I'm talking pure joy.
Hey. Okay. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, right? We love you, Bree. The Page of Pentacles is showing up because, I feel like you could be even aging backwards. Like, you could be really taking care of yourself. I was telling my husband, I'll be 40, very soon, before the end of the year. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I feel better than I did at any point in my life right now, right? So you could be feeling like this as well. You could be feeling like your cup is overflowing. Because we got the 9 of Cups here. This is emotional fulfillment. This is a genie in a bottle. This is when all of those prayers are answered. You know how you've been praying out? Because I told you someone is so pure. Like, I know there's a lot of people that claim to be raw, real, loyal, all these different things. But I'm talking to an energy that's so raw, so real. It's like a heavenly energy, right? And I feel like this is a person here in my presence. And God wants you to know that your prayers will be answered. They do not go amiss. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, your prayers are very specific. I feel like, you don't give up. I feel like you have cried out not only for yourself, but you have cried out for others. You could be a humanitarian. You could be a speaker, a motivational speaker. You could just be a person that, you are so, you carry the weight of the world. I'm feeling a person so empathetic. It's crazy.
You said somebody aging backwards, right?
Somebody's aging backwards.
Death in reverse?
Yeah. Okay. And I ain't talking about no shots and fillers and, facelifts. And I'm talking about naturally aging backwards because you're taking care of your spirit. And, we all know that life is of the spirit. My husband said this meat suit right here, this is just temporary. But I'm talking to a person that has been truly taking care of themselves spiritually. And as above, so below, right? The things you do in the spirit, they show up. Okay? It's all right. Something significant about Japanese cherry blossom. I don't know if this is what you Bath and Body Works Japanese cherry blossom. I don't know if this is a scent you used to wear back in the day, but I can smell it. I just seen the tree. We also got the star here. So there's something about, let me cover her up. There's something about your faith, okay? There's something about your ability to, you know, it's like there's someone, and maybe you felt like you had 1 foot in the water and 1 foot out of the water, but I feel like God is giving you balance, restoration. You know, have faith, have hope. Joy does come in the morning. Someone's really learning these things because you truly have, someone knows that everything I'm saying is true, but until you really felt that in your own spirit, you weren't able to recognize this. And I feel like now you are. Okay? I see somebody celebrating, popping bottles, champagne or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if someone has accomplished something. There's some kind of success here. Okay? There could be a person, you know, where your life could literally be changing right now. Okay? You could have been a child that maybe you didn't have the best things, and maybe you married into a family where you have more things or something like that. I'm saying that as well. And some people may look at you and they may hate on you because they're like, oh, you only have this because who you're married to. But your marriage was a gift from God, period. Okay? It was supposed to be like that. That was your destiny. That was your purpose to do whatever it is that you're doing right now. Because I feel like I'm speaking to someone. This is someone's story right there. You know, your marriage was a part of your abundance. Okay, so remember, we started off with the sun, judgment, and marriage. So, you know, don't forget your covenant if you are in a relationship, a marriage.
That's right.
Okay, something about travel is very significant. Okay, you could be traveling in the colder months. Somebody could be planning a trip to New York City to see the Macy's parade, is what I just heard. You could be traveling. You could be trying to travel to New York City for the ball dropping or something like that. I see travel. Okay, something significant about cane corsos. I see a big black Connie Corso. I'm sorry, a big black Connie Corso. Let me get my words right. Okay.
I'm a dog man, y'all.
Right. So I see 2 big dogs, huge dogs. You can have dogs that are like almost the size of you. You could be a divine feminine with very large dogs, and you could be petite or something like that.
Mastiffs.
Okay.
Real mastiff energy.
Yeah, big dogs. Okay, something like that.
I don't know why that song came back in my head.
What's that?
I ain't gonna say it. Anyway, listen.
Inappropriate. I done been lied on, backstabbed, and mistreated. That's what I'm hearing. Somebody pray for
make
me.
Hate love, you can take it back. I don't need it. Yeah.
Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. I done been lied on, backstabbed, and mistreated.
Fake love made me hate love. You can take it back. I don't need it. Yeah.
That's Snoopy.
Say it really be on Ken.
92.
Snoopy, yeah. Shout out to Snoopy.
It's not out to Snoopy. He reposted your video when you did his you did a mom dance to that song, and he liked it and he reposted that. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. We already had a big dog. We had a big old Belgian Shepherd. My boy Smoke.
Yeah. We plan to get another one. We probably wait a few years, a couple more years before we get another big animal.
So we got a 8 of Swords in reverse to the Death in reverse, decisive action and leadership. Somebody definitely reclaim some energy in this right here. The 8 of Swords in reverse to decisive action is when you step, that's the moment when you step out of fear and into action. 8 of Swords in reverse, decisive action, Death in reverse to the leadership. I feel like you stepped into, you know, maybe a higher version of yourself. Whatever you did, I feel like death could have easily been on the table for you, right? Or a cycle you could have been trapped in, because death in reverse is the ending of a cycle as well, right? So, you know.
These birds tripping me out.
all kinds of birds.
You're making so much noise.
Princess of Cups to the transition. So this is you, right? Again, I'm saying a very intuitive person. Prince of Cups, you could even be a masculine. It's a lot of masculine energy out on the board. You could be a woman in masculine energy. But I'll tell you this. That minute that you decided to stop being afraid, or when you stop being afraid, right? When you realize, Eight of Swords is when you realize, you really start figuring out what's an illusion and what's real when the Eight of Swords goes in reverse and is decisive action. I mean, that's like I said, coming out of fear and getting to it. And the fact that you did that and you ended a cycle and you stepped into leadership or a role of leadership, even if it's taking leadership over your own life, you decided not to move at the invitation of other people. Maybe you decided not to let people's opinion hold so much influence over you. I know don't nobody want to believe that, but truth of the matter is, even me at one point, the people around me, their opinions held a lot of influence. It prevented me from moving in certain ways because I was too concerned about the opinion of other people, right? So when you move away from that, that's a death in reverse. That's ultimately can become, that's lunar. Like that can literally be a timeline shift. Like, you know, they talk about switching timelines and all of that. It's not as Hollywood as it seems. When you make a decision to step out of powerful cycles that bind you, you do a timeline shift. You alter what you bringing in. You alter what's going on around you. You no longer be in alignment for the doom and destruction. When you seriously end the cycle, it gives you your life back. Like my wife said, somebody you went and got your life back. That's why it's important. Them little tiny decisions that be small but firm, they be the things that shift your timeline. I'm gonna stop going over there. Boom, I'm done. I ain't going over there no more. Timeline shift. I'm gonna stop listening to what them, I'm hearing spirit, I'm gonna stop listening to what them niggas saying, right? I'm gonna stop listening to what they saying. Boom, timeline shift. I'm telling you, these are things that keep us bound and keep us in. Imagine if, thank you, Spirit. You remember the movie Final Destination? It's so much truth to that movie. Because imagine if you was living in a design where it was an appointed time for you to go. You know, we all only got a certain amount of energy. So when you misusing your energy wrong, what am I saying? Okay, God give us a certain amount of energy. So I go out here with my energy, I start confusion over here to my left. That's coming back. I start confusion over here to my right. That's coming back also. So what happens is eventually all the things that you put out, they come back. Sometime that be a person, that be their end date right there. The spirit set a date for them, they play into it. But in rare cases, people wake up. I say rare because everybody ain't waking up. But in rare cases, people wake up. They go claim back the energy that they put out there, erase the debt, claim back the energy that they sent that way, erase that debt, ultimately shifting timelines, reversing the outcome of their own death sentence. That's reality. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
Confirmation.
You got it though. You got it. You did it. I don't know if you got it, but you did it. You did it. And now you in the Prince of Cups to the transition, right? Ooh, it's real hard to be the Prince of Cups to the transition, bro, right? Because I gotta say, bro, even if you're a woman, you're soul masculine right now. So, bro, listen. When you in the Prince of Cups to the transition, it's such an unfamiliar place because you gotta rely on your intuition.
Yeah.
You got to. It's like God got you in a, I'm hearing that song, Brand New Funk. Yeah, God got you in a brand new funk right now. Whereas though you gotta rely on your intuition in order for you to get the next move. It's Prince of Cups to the trend. It's different for you, you know? Bro, when you out there and you know, you can rely on your hands and your mind to get it done, boom. God took all that away from you. Now you gotta rely on the intuitive thoughts that's coming from God and your ancestors that's trying to assist you. You in that kind of energy. Life different.
Here comes the brand new flavor in your ear.
Called the brand new funk, right?
I'm getting new flavor in your ear.
Or, and I'm gonna say this before I leave, or you could go back in the Eight of Swords and turn the death back up, right? And lay your life down for the old cause that you was living for. That option is available for us all. But that don't suit me. I don't know about you. I ain't come out the Eight of Swords for nothing. And I ain't turned the death card in reverse for nothing. I ain't do all that to go right back and lay in the same grave that I dodged. And you shouldn't either. Rely on your intuition.
Okay.
It's not misleading you.
Period. I got the Three of Pentacles here. Teamwork to the High Priestess. I don't know. You could be a leader of a team or something like that. You could be needing to lead a team. Something like that. You know? You could be a woman that, you know, other women need you, okay? You can't keep all your sauce to yourself. You know, God gave you that sauce that so you can pour it on the other chicken wings.
Too
right?
much sauce.
You know? Something like that. You could be needing to pour into people, divine feminine. There's something about your divine power, your energy, your feminine energy. I don't know if your first name could start with B, last name could be J, okay? Brandon James. I don't know, something like that. But we got teamwork here. We got 2 + 3 is 5. I don't know. You could be a life path number 5 or something like that. We got.
I'm working with them spirits.
Okay. We also got number 25. Okay, something like that. You could be 25 years old. I feel like there's something about, you know, a knowledge that you have. You could be, you know, you could have a group of friends and maybe you're the one with all the knowledge. You know, maybe they still talk a little crazy at times. You ever talk to somebody that you love dearly, but they're just not where you are, right? You know, so sometimes they say things and you're like, okay, you have to remember that they're still not where you are. Something like that. You could be needing to be patient with people, okay? Because some of these people do, you know, some of these people do want to learn. They're just immature. They have, you know, they develop spiritually slower than you.
Oh, man, that's crazy you said that, because as you just said that, Spirit was telling me somebody finessing the esoterics, like, and I know that's a lot, but that's how my downloads come in. Finessing the esoteric is like she said, you got a knowledge it might be a lot.
Yep.
It's esoteric knowledge that you have, knowledge of the unknown, maybe even occult knowledge, right?
And it's only, you know, esoteric knowledge is, you know, only a select few people have that knowledge, right? So it's not like something that's just out there. So, you know, you maybe need to be patient. You may have some people that, you know, are wanting to learn some different things from you, are interested in your story, you know, how you carry yourself, the way you conduct yourself, or whatever it is. And, you know, you are a leader here, so you're showing up as a leader. This is your duty, okay? Something like that. Go ahead.
No, because what I want to say is it's kind of a little deep, right? It's a little deep. And it was something that was brought to my attention about, you know, the gods, the Yoruba gods, the gods of the Mid-Atlantic, the gods of India, how they all depicted as giants and how they are also the fallen ones, right? This is what I want to say to people. Read the book of Enoch, please. For all of my biblical-based people, please read the book of Enoch. Because Enoch shows you the proper relation that we're supposed to have with these giants. That they here. The Bible says they lived in the days before and in the days after. So these giants, like what I'm talking about, the giants like the Hindu gods, Kali, the Orisha, the Luau, all of these are energies, right, that was said to have existed on these giants at one time. So when you a person that live in today's world where all this knowledge is coming back online and you got a faith in God and you know what's real, it's up to you to represent what you're doing in a way that help people shape their understanding. Because one thing that God never meant was for humans to have a bunch of disunion amongst ourselves. That's not what, it wasn't meant to be that way. People have different understandings all throughout the world. Some people fool with their giants. Some people don't. Like in the book of Enoch, the giants had to speak to Enoch about the judgment. Remember when God sent the decree for the fallen ones to be judged, what it was, 29 of them or something like that. When they all agreed, all of these giants from different nations in the book of Enoch, it shows them in an agreement and a covenant to alter nature, right, in a certain way. And then it shows the Most High sending down a judgment, but Enoch is the liaison, meaning Enoch didn't look at them with disdain in his heart. He looked at them with understanding. All of the giants, right? So I know it's a different level, but you could very much be understanding what I'm saying. I see a high priestess on the board with the 3 of Pentacles. So that's telling me that somebody you working with things that other people may not understand. It could be a part of your calling. So it's on you. It's like you got to obey the voice of God and you got to serve your purpose and bring it all into alignment. Heavy duty, ain't it? Yeah, heavy duty, but it got to be done because light got to be shed around the world about the truth of what the divine is, what God is, and all of that. Like, you know, before I back out, God didn't even get in a war between men and giants until men cried out. Now, that says a lot about God. When you read the book of Enoch, you know, the way it teaches you, I love the dynamic because it just shows you that, yo, you know, we living in a day where it's like to be open-mindedness, but to have faith so you can know what's going on. Because it's too many people getting lost in an open-minded place. You need a faith to ascend. How can you ascend? How can you ascend and leave faith behind when you ascend? You going into triple stages of darkness. The ascension that's upon you is for you to take your faith and begin to understand greater. If you think about it. High priestess to the 3 of Pentacles. Because somebody, you got a lot of loose ends to tie in regards to people. Because you can't just throw people off because they don't understand. They wasn't given the spiritual insight that you was. They wasn't given the upbringing that you was given. They wasn't fused with the things that you was fused with. So that means they wasn't, you fit like Esther. You was the one made for a time such as this. How Esther was, that's you. High priestess to the 3 of Pentacles. So you got to work it out. All good, black, dark, light. I don't care who you in agreement with. You shouldn't be worshiping nothing but the Most High. Yeah, that's a big mission.
We got the Ace of Cups here. Okay? So, you know, I feel like 5 of Swords, someone, I don't know, you know, you could be fighting for happiness, your own happiness, because you're learning that you are the creator of your happiness. And there could be someone going against you being happy. I hate to tell you this, but that's just how it is. You know, you could be over here trying to really fulfill yourself emotionally. And I feel like there's an energy with the 5 of Swords that does not want you to have that peace. I feel like God is telling somebody, I'm saying God specifically, God is saying, you know, it's your choice. It's really truly your choice. You know, do you want to keep having conflict and chaos, confusion? We know God is not a God of conflict, confusion, or chaos. Or would you rather be emotionally fulfilled? Because I feel like there's two options out here, and someone has to pick where they want to be. You know, when we are busy at work, you know, working on ourselves, and we don't include divinity, divinity stays out of the way.
Right.
You know, so I feel like there's a point for someone to be mature enough to choose, like, which way do you want life to be? You know, do you feel like you're not good enough to have peace 7 days a week? Is it okay if we only argue 2 days a week, but the arguments are so bad that things keep being broken, feelings are just being hurt, you know, things are being said that, you know, you can't get out of your head, you can't take these things back, you know, things are being done that you can't be forgiven. Something like that. You know, a decision must be made in a situation. Now, I ain't here to judge anybody, because I've made some poor choices, and I've been poor. I've made poor choices in my life before, right? Right?
Poor.
But what I'm here to tell you is when I heard this same calling that I'm hearing right now, I knew it was an ultimatum. I knew it was time for me to make a decision where I wanted to go, you know, where I wanted to be. I kept crying out for God to give me relief. He relieved me a year. You know, I remember one time in my life, I'm going to tell y'all something so true. I prayed to God to get me out of a situation, and God got me out of the situation immediately. As soon as I prayed, if I would have been strong enough, I could have just left. But I prayed, and I kept, well, God, did you hear me? You know, when are you going to give me a signal? What do I do? You know, where?
And it was sent you a raft and a boat.
I stayed an extra year somewhere that I shouldn't have stayed, and my life was miserable because God had already gave me the go when I prayed.
You heard me.
When I prayed about it and I gave it over, I should have been willing to go. But, you know, I was still looking for another answer, searching for something clear. Because, you know, in my human mind, I need something to add up to something. Because 1 + 1 wasn't equaling 2 at the time. Right? So I stayed an extra year in a situation that was killing me spiritually. You know, my life was in danger. I was going down. I'm going down. Yeah, like Mary said, I was going down, baby. Right? So when I finally paid attention that God had already freed me from what I was still, you know, devil card energy, allowing myself to be held to.
Right.
And I moved on. I was able to find that peace that I would have never obtained if I would have stayed in a situation that wasn't a part of my purpose, my call, and my destiny. And I feel like, you know, somebody else is here too. It's like, you know, I know the fights ain't that bad. I know that, you know, they only stole from you one time. You know, I know that, you know, they don't normally come home late. You know, it's just a new thing that's going on. I understand it's new stress, and we got a new baby. And I gained a couple pounds, look. And, you know.
And your ancestors looking at you the whole time like it. All of them looking at you like it.
So you mean to tell me because all these things, you gained a couple pounds, you know, life is stressful, that you got to allow a person or people to treat you in. God says, I didn't approve of that. You know, that's your own human decision. So, you know, I'm going to move on from that energy. But the 9 of Cups is laying here. So it's like, I'm hearing T.I., you can have whatever you like, but it's up to you. You know, we can't force somebody to take anything, right?
That's crazy that you tell that story because, you know, of course our lives are similar. We went through the same things. That's how we ended up together. And I remember being that dumb, you know, and I called myself dumb because I was like, the same way. God saved me. And you know how God used to save me? I say, God saved me. Boom, disaster happened. Everything fall out, everything crash and burn. And I was such a fool. I'll go somewhere and be like, God, was that you? And it'd be like, what is that? Boy, do you want to lose your life the next time? Like, did you get it yet? Like, you just almost literally lost your natural life. And you still, right? That shows you how, but please believe, that's the reason why God chose us, y'all. If another story out the Bible, You know, God chose Saul because Saul had a zeal. You know what his zeal was for? He used to persecute Christians. He used to get up early in the morning and be like, let's go find God people and make it hard for them, wherever they at. Early in the morning, 7 a.m., he up, like, let's go. You know, Most High looked at Paul and said, well, he got a lot of zeal to come at me and my people, but maybe I can use that. Maybe that's the thing I can use to make them a benefit to the kingdom. So boom, God threw a series of events in life, and Paul had a series of decisions to make, but he came out being a chosen one. Same way with you. But see how the church knocked him? The church was like, oh no, not him. That's Saul. He can't be of God.
What? Not.
We can't use him. When Peter brought Paul back to Antioch, they ran out. They was like, oh no, you got Saul with you? What is you doing? Same way with us in the spirit. It's like God chose you for some of that resistance that you got, that hard-headedness that you got, the thing that keep making you go right back into the same situation. That's the same thing that the Most High uses.
12, 1 o'clock.
Powerful energy. And look, this transition card out here again. You got the 7 of Swords in reverse to the Princes of Cups now. Spirit is telling you this whole battle is centered around your intuition. Your ability, look, your intuition is stopping you from being stolen from. 7 of Swords in reverse. When you tap into this, your intuition, it's God-given. And what the enemy wants you to do is reject what God give you.
Can't do that.
Think about this. Say, I'm this bottle right here, right? And say, I'm stuck right here. I'm this bottle. But my freedom is over here now. So when I get in this middle place, when I get off of what binds me, and I'm about to get over here, I got all this stuff trying to pull me back, right? So what do I gotta do? I gotta jump to break free. Once you break free, you land over here, things is easier. I'm trying to help somebody. Whenever you making a decision to get away from what's binding you, it start gripping you harder on a spiritual level. You want to leave that person, now you just crave them. You just can't get enough of them. You just need it right now. But what do you really need? Is that orgasm worth that? Think about it. Is it worth that? That's how the devil set the tempo for your demise. By convincing you that everything that's centered... Ooh, I just caught it. Imagine how many times the demon gets you chased demise on account of an orgasm. That's crazy.
Easiest way.
Like, you gotta be willing to take a jump away from what binds you in order for you to understand what's gonna make you strong. And somebody, kudos to you because your intuition, you in that bag. Like, very intuitive, very clever. That's what's making you clever. You stopping now and you tapping into a deeper, that intuition is a deeper thing. Once you get in line, once you get in tune with your intuition, you be like this. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Nah, I ain't gonna be that way. Because your intuition is set the right way. Your intentions is pure, is aligning you with high vibrational energies, ancestors and everything. When you vibrating high, that's who you be. When you low vibrational, you in there with them too, just the low vibrational ones. But ancestors all around us, no matter what. Don't ever let nobody tell you different. They all around you. They was all around everybody in every holy book. They speak about them all the time, right? So keep on doing what you're doing. I see you clever now. You was foolish at once, or you was deemed foolish. People thought you was slow even. But now all of a sudden, you clever now.
Okay.
You was slow at first, but now you clever.
The fox.
Picture that. That's something to be said right there. You always been clever. You was never slow. You just wasn't in alignment like you are now. Princess of Swords to the Princess of Cups to the Princess of Swords. I like it. Real assertive. They thought you were slow and now you clever.
Okay. We got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So something ain't moving as fast as you want to, but it doesn't mean that it's not moving. You know, this could be in a relationship. This could definitely be heavy on the finances, okay? You know, you could be putting in a lot of work and like, Lord, I only got this one little pentacle. I see somebody keep checking for a deposit or something like that. Someone could owe you a refund or something like that, a settlement, something. Somebody could be waiting on some kind of financial deposit, okay? I feel like it's coming in very slow, but it's coming in for sure, something like that, okay? That's the one thing about it. It might be slow, but it's definitely coming. You can depend on the Knight of Pentacles. He's very methodical, very stable, very dependable kind of energy. So I feel like, yeah, with the Fool card here in the middle of the deck, okay? Yeah, you could be taking healthy risk, okay? Queen of Pentacles, the Magician, yeah. You could be taking a lot of healthy risk here, okay, working really hard towards a goal, and something is coming in, not at your time, but it's coming, okay? You could be using every resource that you have, putting in blood, sweat, and tears for a thing. There's something that you really believe in. You finally believe in yourself about something. I feel like this is a long time coming. We got 0, 1, 1, 0. Number 10, completion is very significant here. You could be definitely completing a cycle, okay? This could be a 10-year cycle, something like that. You could have been giving people different parts of you, and you could have felt like you lost them, but I feel like you gained them back slowly but surely, okay? Something significant about the water side. I don't know if you live by a beach near water or something like that. You could be from Tidewater, Virginia, the Triad, something like that. Okay. But I see a lot of water here, a lot of emotions. Someone's gone through, like, you know, an emotional upgrade. You know, I feel like, you know, emotionally, it was hard for you to mature emotionally. That was the hardest part of your maturity, because, you know, when you are a person that was not able to express yourself, your emotions and different things like that, it's very hard for you to become emotionally mature. But I feel like someone has gained this maturity here. There's someone, and with the Queen of Pentacles here, I don't know if you're a Capricorn, but a damn hard worker is what I'm seeing, you know? I'm seeing someone, and, you know, I don't know, you could be doing something very smart. I don't know if you're having most of your paycheck go to your retirement or something. Someone's doing something, or you could be working like a side gig. Something about supplemental income. I don't know. Someone's worried about their future here like never before. A lot of earth energy. I don't know, you know? I feel like there could be a lot of earthly things trying to get in the way of your spiritual blessings, so be mindful of that, okay? Don't look for material in your blessings, because your blessings are bigger than material. It's something bigger than that. I don't know. I feel like someone could be bringing a person something. There could be an offer here, something generous. I don't know. Somebody could be cooking and bringing somebody a plate or something like that. But I see someone offering someone something. You guys could be, you could be somewhere where people are coming together in the community to make sure all of the children are good, you know?
Playfulness.
Something like that.
Collective, like, this right here, it feels good. It feels good, and it feels playful. But this is a double-sided reading. Like I got the Six of Torches and it's being clarified by playfulness. So I feel like that's you. You know, in the energy, you're held in high honors, playfulness, meaning you could have like children around, or you could have like a lot of childish type of souls around you. You could have like a lot of playful spirits in your energy. When you held in high honors, especially on a spiritual level, it feels good around you in life. Like you're not decadent, you don't got a lot of karmic debt, you're not out here in the wee hours of the morning doing things that smell bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being real, because some of that spell work smells bad, right? So you're not involved in that. But I do see, because you in this energy, over here is the universe in reverse to the judgment in reverse, communication and metamorphosis. Things are falling apart on the other end of your energy. What I mean by the other end of your energy is, I mean, the things that are connected to your energy that meant to do you harm, and this is how life works. Because you chose to shift and be held in this high honors and treat yourself better, show yourself love, six of torches, Six of wands. Because you chose to do that, on the other end of your energy, something else has to be happening different. You get it? That's how energy works. Like if an energy is taken away from you and you restore yourself, that means that it got to be doing the same thing somewhere else. That's why the universe and the judgment is in reverse to the communication and metamorphosis. This is like unexpected change. Communication is like a bunch of people wanting to know what happened. What happened? What's going on? Why this may not be working? Why has this changed? I'm seeing people questioning practitioners right now. If I open up my clairs, I'm seeing people arguing amongst themselves about situations surrounding certain individuals in the collective energy, right? Things have been done to you. But nevertheless, Six of Wands to the playfulness and all of that going on over there. And it's not really hard to look into this because it's real similar. It's a bunch of people that's going through this. So maybe that's why it's showing up like this. And in fact, what I mean is, you've made a change. And because you changed, and on a spiritual level, you causing destruction. Even when people try to hide it, and people try to make it feel like they doing well, but they know they meant for your demise, let them move how they move on a surface level. They might still be dressed in all the nice threads. They might be in a nice home, nice car. You might be still struggling, but in the spirit realm, just please understand, you held in six of wands, high honors. That's shedding light on people who was dishonorable, spirits that was dishonorable. You have to understand and know that this is taking place beneath the surface on a spiritual level. Universe in reverse, judgment in reverse. With the judgment in reverse to the communication, this is even people questioning themselves like, why did I do that? What was I thinking about when I done that? I had bad judgment. People could be communicating that to one another. While you held in Six of Wands to the playfulness, Six of Torches, all that's going on. And trust and believe, sometime when you don't look at this as tragic comedy, but when you in that energy of playfulness and abundance and you being rewarded, other people in other places going through it, they having an answer for their karmic endeavors, like the reward for karma. There's a lot of communication. It's a lot of communication about it. You got transition. Even some people leaving away from here about it. Sad to say, but it's the truth. Like, you just can't do certain things to God people. And people starting to realize that. It don't matter who you think God people who God say they is. You God people, why? Because God say you his people. Simple as that. Don't know explanation. You can have 100 million people stand against you. If God say you his people, and you know how he gonna let you know he is people, God is gonna let you know that you a child of the divine by the events that manifest on this here plane we live on. People send magic spells at you and they don't work. Not because you thorough, not because your bloodline is, not because you know, it's because you God people. That's why. All the other stuff is just the schematics and the mechanics of it. But it don't happen because you God folk. God said you his people. That's why these things go like that. And it's best you know that. 4 cups in reverse, you know that. Thank you, Spirit. You know that. So I'm dealing with, I just said it's best that you know that. So 4 cups in reverse lets me know, you're not naive. You understand why you in good energy, and it's other people feeling like the universe is in reverse and their judgment was off.
Scorpio season.
To the Prince of Torches in reverse. When I look at some of these cards, I only can ask myself, who is all these people? Who are these people? That, like, you got the Prince of Torches in reverse, to the Lovers in reverse. So, in your energetic field, with you not being naive from the jump, you know if somebody wronging you, that's supposed to be showing you love. The Lovers in reverse is a close enemy. The Prince of Torches in reverse could be a teenager. And I feel like somebody, you going through all of this because you chose to change and you held in high honors. What does it mean to be held in high honors? I'm gonna tell you so you know how I feel in a sense. Somebody might not know. When life tried to take you out and God raised you up, he do it in such a way where he let life know you couldn't do that to them. No matter how people finesse life, manipulate energy, cast words upon you, spells upon you, prayers upon you, whatever. When all of that happens to you and God raises you above it, that's six of torches. You're held in high honors. Why? Because only God can do that. So what it does is it causes people to even, some people, they so dark that they'll literally think you working with the evil that they working with, and that you gaining favor from the devil. Because what they didn't affect you. Some people, their comprehension is just like that. They feel like you belong to the devil and the devil is helping you. When whole time it's God. The devil don't even work like that. Remember, Jesus said in the Bible, a house divided, it can't stand. So the devil ain't gonna sit up there and work against his own self.
That's real.
When God raised you up and elevates you in life, I don't care what kind of low you've been through. I don't care how much the algorithm try to convince you that you dark and low. If death came for you and had to go the other way, that means that you God people.
Period.
You is in 6 of wands out here. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. The devil can't save you from death sent to you. The devil won't save you from death sent to you. God do that in the energy of the Most High. Don't get yourself confused. You got people out here, man. People close to you. Because you changed and you taking care of yourself, you might got your little crystal work on, you know. They saying, oh, you dealing with witchcraft, right? Witchcraft is a word that people use when they don't have the ability to really explain something. They put the word witchcraft on it. But if not the case, Jesus used witchcraft then. Moses used witchcraft. Gibeon built the altar and caught down fire. So it's like all these people use witchcraft, I guess then. No, it ain't that. It's just that people don't want to believe that God raised you up to a 6 of wands. So they got to come up with every excuse to make it other than what it is. And what it is you God people.
God said.
God in there. What happened?
God in there.
Why it ain't work against them? Cause God in there. Why the Spirit say why we can't just run in and take their life from them? God in there. Somebody don't know. Spirits had conversations about you too.
You could be an Aries that we're talking about. Okay? You could have had a near-death experience in Aries season. Something about the salamander is significant here. Okay? You know, someone needs to know that, like, this is for a man. You were born a king. Maybe the world hasn't crowned you, but you have been crowned in the ethers. Something like that.
Big old King of Wands crown. God in there.
Not only are you a king, but you're a king that's supposed to take action. You're not supposed to sit around and just let the world eat you up and consume you. You have a duty, a purpose. You know, it's your due diligence to get this job done. Something like that. Yeah, King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're definitely a man, heavy on the man. Capricorn man, Taurus man, Virgo man, Sagittarius man, Aries man. Leo man. This is a man that I'm talking to. Sir, man, mister. Empress is out here. Okay? You know, this is a man where, you know, you have to be stingy with yourself too, sir. Just like a woman would have to be. It's important for you to be stingy with what you have too, because you have a lot inside of you. Something like that. Okay? We got the Empress here. You know, you could have been really codependent. You know, sometimes being a provider, you're codependent on people needing you. And when that situation flips, you know, some people don't know how to deal with that. So you could be going through something like that. Maybe, you know, you could be a man that was in the home with a family and now you're out on your own or whatever it is. Just know that, you know, you're not alone. You got a duty. Something about doing it fast here. There's something about someone's past. We got 66 coming out. We got the 6 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. Okay? I feel like someone was someone was something in their past life that was something great. And I feel like this lifetime you're supposed to be something great as well. Okay? I feel like we're looking at the past and the present, you know? And someone needs to know that your past is not your present. You know, where you were, you're not there anymore. Things have changed. You could be reminiscing on things that are just not the same anymore. You know?
Somebody could be studying the more science degrees. I think they're the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. And I heard the name Norris and Jenkins.
There's some fond memories in the past here too. There could be someone, and you could be going through a period in your life where you're being celebrated, accomplished, recognized, and maybe you are missing a transition loved one. You know, maybe you had a mom that passed away and you feel like, I wish she could see what I'm doing right now. You know, I often think that about my grandma, but I have to remember she does see what I'm doing. I'm doing what she knew I would do. You know, she knew I would do this. That's why she spoke all of those words into my life. She spoke life into me because she knows that this would be a part of my life. So I don't know, you're being held in high honors here. Okay? Now, if this is not here on the earthly realm, this could be your ancestors, you know, your spirit guides. Someone's proud of you.
Sometimes they speak to you, from the afterlife through the words that they said to you while they was here.
Come on.
Like they literally speak to you from the afterlife with the words that they used while they was on this plane sometimes.
I hear it. Okay.
My mother did that. Mama, she was like, you gonna be up and down.
Your mother spoke so much over my life in a short amount of time.
I met her right before my mom transitioned.
She knew all of this was coming.
My mother is so powerful. It's like when she transitioned, all the supernatural stuff happened. Literally. Like this big old bird, y'all, just came out the sky. Is I'm lying? And I got it on video.
And she read, she was reading our life together, and it was crazy. Like, she would say things when he wasn't around to me. And some of the things I still haven't even said, and they manifested. I'm like.
And she knew that the thing about it, which was so divinely orchestrated, is that my mom was transitioning.
She knew it too.
She knew it. Like, she knew that she was about to transition. And she was just concerned about what direction was I going. She gave me a big old Bible before she left. Big old black, nice Bible. And she just was so concerned, like,
she was.
What is you going to do?
She would size me up. She would rub me and stuff. She was like, oh, yeah, you going to be okay. She would rub me like this, and she would be like, oh, yeah, you thick enough. Yep. Yep. Right? Yeah, everything's going to be good. She would tell us little things about how life would be to come.
And when I tapped into my gifts and my ascension, you know, the first one I wanted to talk to was my mom. Once I stepped into my gift, my inheritance as a spirit medium, I got a mother deck. That was my first tarot deck, the mother deck. It's a feminine deck from the 70s. It's made like a circle. Man, that deck used to be talking. My mom showed up in a powerful way, my first reading. And old girl been around real strong ever since. I keep her around. And you can do the same thing for your ancestors as well, right? Collective, what you believe in plays a big part in your reality.
That's real.
That's why learning is important. It's not about being rebellious. It's about learning. And when you learn, right, it's not about learning to support what you stand and what you... No, you want to learn as in being led of spirit. What is life trying to teach me? Not what am I trying to go grab to support the way I stand. That's not. Being led of the spirit, remember the Bible says, as many as are led of the spirit are the sons of God and the daughters of God. To be led of spirit. Understanding that spirit is given.
Spirit brings aid to the remembrance to aid. Something like that.
And you know, tapping in with your ancestors, it comes at a certain level of once you step away from the fiction that surrounds that, you get it clear. Because your ancestors are always there. But when you taught that they demonic and this, that, and the third, you never really looked to even establish a connection, no matter how much the Bible says Jesus sat with his ancestors.
I didn't say he worshipped them. Worshipped them.
It says honor your ancestors in the Bible too. Definitely.
Honor, not praise.
But nobody focuses on the activity that the Bible is describing you about ancestral contact. It's giving you, it's telling you that this is a thing. I think it's prohibited because people, soon as they find out there's another power that move in the spirit, they worship it. and begin to worship that which is not greater than you. You got a likeness. Remember that. That's the reason why the demon don't like you, because you have a likeness unto the Most High. That's the reason why demons don't like men.
Because they don't have a mortal body.
They denied a mortal body. The giants too. Some of the giants, not all of them. Because remember, in the book of Enoch, some of the giants were repentant. Some of them even helped men out, right? But you are envious of everything in the spirit realm, envies what God gives us the ability to do when we got this, when we in this existence. Everything is envious of you. So it's not cool to worship and be cool in agreement and on levels with everything in the spirit, because a lot of that stuff that you agreeing with, it envies you.
Right.
So it's impossible for it to work with you when it envies you. You got to know what you're doing. Know of a certainty which way you moving. Know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Envy is what caused the first death. Cain and Abel.
First death.
Envy.
Envy is a powerful thing. And when you walking around with God's likeness on you, spiritual things envy you. That's why some of the people that's taken over by spirits envy you.
The moon.
All right, y'all.
Well, y'all know what time it is. Lunchtime. We
Yes,
need a lunch
sir.
tray. We need a lunch tray. Well, we try to do too much, but eat a little something. We love you guys so much. We hope you guys enjoyed the message. Okay? If you would like to be a blessing to our page, all of our information is listed. Okay? It does help us make more dope content like this one. Thank you guys for all of your love, your support, your energy, your comments, your stories. You're pouring into us, you know, your attention and your time. We love you guys so much. We do. Okay? So, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Our inbox is always open. Remember, all of our personal sessions are free. We don't charge. We do ask for a spiritual donation for our time. That's what God wants us to do. Our time is precious. But other than that, you know, we're here, okay? So if you would like to book a personal session with us, our inbox is always open. Thank you guys if you contributed to the channel. We're going to go have some lunch, and then we'll catch you guys later on this evening. We love you guys so much. Hey, Elemental Being.